I was gonna watch Trainwrecks is maybe gonna move to maybe he's gonna move to YouTube. He's making his own platform. Well, let me see what he's saying.
Listen, dickwads, I'm gonna keep it a $1.50, okay? I'm gonna keep it a $1.70. I'm gonna keep it a $1.99.
That's a lot of
okay?
money.
All these trends going on that you guys see as you know, the in trends. I did that shit when I was 12. You understand me? Literally, when I was 12, when I was emo, painted black nails, long hair. Okay, y'all tripping. 12 when I was emo.
There's no way Train was 12 in that picture. There's like, I'm gonna say like, no way.
Painted black nails, long hair. Okay, y'all.
Yeah.
Crazy motherfuckers in here. As far as this gambling stuff goes, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't know if maybe I'm just influenced in the current moment because of my Rust addiction. So maybe it just hasn't hit me. Maybe I'm just so into Rust I don't give a f. But I think the gambling ban, like the people who wanted it banned, I think they were more pissed that I wasn't that pissed than I was actually pissed. You know what I'm saying? It was real fucking weird. It's like the viewers that got together on Twitter and Reddit.
No, that's definitely true because everybody was expecting, like, all the viewers. See, like, what you have to understand about like Twitch viewers is that Twitch viewers are like the people, you know, like that Simpsons gif where like they're trying to like get the monkeys to kill each other with knives. Well, the monkeys are the streamers and the people around them are the viewers. So anytime that like something happens to somebody and they don't immediately mauled out about it or like start some massive drama, viewers get mad because they're there to be entertained.
Y'all are supposed
it's
to
like imagine like if you're in the Roman Colosseum and both the gladiators come out and they're like, actually, man, like, I mean, you're not really like, I don't want to kill you. Like, they're like, yeah, bro, I was thinking the same thing. Like, I figure like, yo, fuck this shit. Let's just chill. Like, everybody would be fucking furious. They would be fucking like, bro, Caesar would have to kill both of them. Yeah, both would be killed. Like, yeah, like you can't fucking have that shit. Absolutely not.
Doing this for the gambling, not for my reaction to it. Crazy motherfuckers, bro. But anyways, just wanted to start with that. As far as the gambling ban goes, you know, if Twitch just came out and they just kind of kept it, you know, kept it objective, and they would have said some shit like, listen, you know, until we do further investigation on whether these sites are this or that, we're gonna, you know, put a stop to sites that aren't licensed in the US. If it was something like that, there really is nothing to say, right? You let them do their investigation, you let them do their thing, it makes sense, right?
Yeah, sure.
They want to just be sure. But the way they worded it, that's what like set me off. I didn't even care about like the ban necessarily or the gambling necessarily being banned. I was more pissed about the catering of the post. It didn't seem like I mean, I know they don't actually believe that shit, right? Motherfuckers got their hands so deep in the gambling cookie jar. You know what I'm saying? No.
I don't think Twitch like really cares about gambling either. I think they just care about looking bad. That's why they let gambling sit around forever. I think honestly, like Slicker was probably one of the biggest reasons why they got rid of gambling is because like he just made the platform look really bad. And the thing is, like Slicker got addicted to like sports gambling and sports betting. It wasn't even slots as far as I know, or at least like that wasn't the primary thing that he was like popping off on. So it's like, I feel like that's kind of true that they don't really give a shit. They just want to make their money and not be seen and just fucking escape away with the bag. That's it. Yeah, I'm begging you, King. Bring back gambling. Yeah, exactly.
Shot they're gonna come up and try and be the angels of justice. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
no
yeah.
shot. Motherfuckers are deep in the fucking sports betting. You know what I'm saying? Sponsors left and right. Biggest sponsors. No shot.
I don't think it's like really Twitch that's in that, but like he's definitely right. Is like, aren't DraftKings like a big sponsor for like the Dota TI or something like that? I'm not 100% on this, but like I think that's true. I'm not sure. It's either that or like another one of the big esports things, right? Yeah, GG Bet or something like that. Yeah, so it's like, I mean, it was GG Bet. Yeah, it was GG Bet for the group stage. Exactly. So it's just like they do have, and also like Valve could stop that if they wanted to, or like, does Valve own Dota? I don't even know who owns Dota. But like any of the people that run the tournaments could stop that if they wanted to. But they just don't really, like, they don't really give a fuck. They don't want to be involved, etc.
shot. So it's like, once I see there was like catering involved and like it's pretty much a regurgitated version of the inconsistent, make no sense, illogical bullshit that was being spewed by the faces of Twitch, that's what pissed me off.
Well, they did that. The reason why Twitch did that is they wanted to like disconnect themselves from like the drama and be like, oh, well, this isn't, you know, what Twitch is about. Like, we don't want this to happen. I think that they only really do stuff like that in order to avoid advertisers getting mad.
Right? Because it's like, I don't even understand how these streamers that claim they're so against gambling and saving the children, I don't know how the fuck they've gone quiet and silent. Sports gambling, and don't get me wrong, I love sports gambling, so I'm not sitting here shitting on it saying, you know, I love that shit. But that doesn't mean you can ignore the facts. Sports gambling is 1,000 times more prevalent, 1,000 times the market, 1,000 times more predatory to children in America and around the world. You literally get introduced to it through fantasy sports at fucking age 10. Like, there is no...
I do think he's right about this. I would say that I think that, like, slots are different because they're programmed for you to lose, like, more often than you win. But to an extent, that's kind of true with sports betting as well. Because, like, they clearly have, like, the odds programmed in a way that's favorable towards them also. So I think that's probably why people define, like, sports betting differently, is because, like, the fact is, it's like the fucking, what was it? I don't know, like, it's, but how do 10-year-olds sign up? I mean, I think 10-year-olds are going to sign up to stuff anyway. I feel like having kids see gambling stuff isn't really the main problem with gambling, etc. It's such a reach. Yeah, it's like there's just so much sports betting in the culture that it's almost impossible to, like, remove it. It's like an old god, you know?
No fucking shot. And the big thing that pushed the gambling ban was the slicker thing, which was sports betting.
Exactly.
So it's like, you know what I mean? DraftKings is owned 50% by the NFL. NFL is a $13 billion contract with Amazon, right? DraftKings has sponsorship with Twitch. It's like, you can't give me this high road bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's that inconsistency that pisses me off, right? Like, that's the corruption I'm talking about. It's super fucking shady.
Well, yeah, I think Twitch just cares about making sure that they avoid looking bad in terms of sponsors and advertising, which was like what my concern was mostly was that, you know, it's like Twitch is going to have this gambling problem and then advertisers will leave the website. The truth is that advertisers will not leave the website over DraftKings because DraftKings has been normalized in society. Now, you might disagree with that. You might think, oh, that's not how it should be. That's nice, but that's how it is. So that's just the truth.
And it's like, I already see people backpedaling. Oh, I only care if you're sponsored to gamble. Like, I'm so confused by, like, the twisting of words, right? Like, now, I think they're confusing fill balance with gambling sponsorship, right? Which, if y'all watch me, you know I'm against that anyways, right? But
my understanding is fill balance is that they basically fill up your balance. I mean, kind of obvious. And then you bet on it, and then any of the money you win, you keep. And if you lose the money, it wasn't yours anyway. Now, I'm assuming that's probably what it is.
Getting paid for exclusivity when you're already gambling, right? As long as you're transparent and you're risking your own money and it's raw and you're transparent about your shit, right? That argument seems very odd to me because that seems like a jealousy argument more so than an objective, like, sound argument. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't hear that same argument being used for everyone that has DraftKings sponsors when they post their fucking DraftKings sports bets. Where they talk about, you know, Dolphins winning, right? They're getting paid. Like, it makes no sense to me whatsoever. And I really feel like the silence on the sports betting shit is like just like pure corruption and pure just like bullshit. And I feel like I would...
Well, it's like at a certain point, it's just that that's what society thinks. Society right now, at least, has decided that sports betting is better than slots. And it's like, is sports betting really better than slots? Maybe it's harder for, like, kids to get involved with sports betting because it's, like, maybe better regulated versus, like, stake or something like that. But they're both pretty bad. Like, I don't want to go, like, down the rabbit hole of, oh, sports betting is, like, worse or better. I think they're both kind of bad.
Have to do the sports betting to prove that. Like, imagine I found a way
but I do feel like the biggest reason why sports betting is okay and slots is not has nothing to do with the nuances between them. And it has everything to do with how prevalent in society it is and how many sponsors and everything it has. It just has a lot of influence. It's like tobacco back in like the 50s or 60s.
Sports betting with the structure of my stream, that's when you'll see the bullshit and inconsistency. But I mean, it is what it is. Shit's gone October 18th. I could have, you know, if I was like really upset and it like hit me bad, I could have just streamed it nonstop, you know, for the last 2 weeks. But I was deep in that Rust addiction. Man, Rust is my game. I'm gonna keep it a buck, guys. The amount of shit talking I do in that game, it is
a good game.
Best.
I love Rust.
I roast motherfuckers, and it's crazy. It's like when someone recognizes me and they like let me live, I'm like, nah, listen. You gotta, like, I let them know, I'm like, listen, you gotta fucking take my shit and, you know, play how you'd play if it wasn't me. Because I'm gonna shit talk no matter what. Whether you kill me or don't kill me, I'm shit talking. What's this Juiced game show? Is this like a Nickelodeon game show with like a slime and shit? XQC game show? Family Feud? Bro, my man X definitely in that, you know what I mean? He's in that, you know what I'm saying? That ain't his game show. That's, you know what I mean? That's, you know, X is one of the boys, you know what I'm saying? But that Family Feud style stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's more Ludwig than it is X. You know what I'm saying? That's that Family Guy content. No shot. You know what I'm saying? If that's your game show, you ain't booking a Twitch Rivals. You know what I'm saying? No shot. That was definitely like some shit.
He's trying to talk around it. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Or like X was too nice and he didn't want to say no. Or maybe it was his idea. Yeah. Who knows? I could be wrong. Maybe it was his idea and X just one day woke up, fuck yeah, I want to do Gundam. Dude, I used to watch Gundam. That shit was great. That shit, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I'm just old and my memory's failing me, but that Gundam game that came out, you know, looks nothing like the Gundam anime I was watching. That Gundam anime I was watching was fucking badass. Yeah. We had like glowing blue swords, cool ass fucking cannons, and this was like back in like 2000. You know what I'm saying? How the fuck?
Yeah, it was on like Adult Swim. I remember watching Gundam too. I feel like fucking everybody did. Like, who didn't watch that shit?
In 2022 with the technology we have, and somehow each fucking Gundam's weaponry or whatever the fuck weaponry looks like shit. You feel me? I mean, I gotta try the game out first, don't get me wrong, but it's like, I guess that's what you gotta do if you want to make it into like an Overwatch style game, right? Because then I guess, like, if you did it how it actually was, people would be one-shotting everybody, right? Definitely a cool looking game though. I gotta check that thing out. Definitely looks cool. Rust has been nuts. I'm getting real annoyed at these veteran Rust players though, I'm gonna be honest. You know, every corner of Twitch I go to, same old politics. I'm telling you, same old politics. It's like, how the fuck am I joining the game? Yeah, and this goes for Summit too. Summit's in the same boat.
I know exactly what he's gonna say, because we went through this entire fucking thing 2 years ago. This entire fucking thing, we already did it whenever Twitch first brought Rust and the Rust servers. Remember that? Whenever fucking, remember whenever Sir Winter fucking killed, this is where it started. Let me see if I can find the fucking video of it. There it is. Sir Winter Trainwreck. Right there. Where's the fucking video? What actually, this is a 2-hour video? Holy fuck. Okay, here we go. This is what started it, right here. And he heard somebody going around, because, like, Trainwrecks was looting, you know, because, like, you go down the road and you loot all the fucking buildings. He's trying to get scrap. There he is. He's walking down there. Listen. Are you kidding me? He's like saying res me and shit, yeah. Just kill him. Which, to be fair, like, I remember whenever this happened, the thing is, like, it's funny because it's a Rust server, but, like, it's a Rust server made for Twitch content. So, like, they got rid of this guy because it's like there's not really a lot of content whenever you just shoot somebody and you don't really have an interaction with them and then you run away. Low volume? Yeah, the volume was fucked up on it. But basically, Trainwrecks asked them to res them, and then Sir Winter said no, shot him in the head, and ran away. So it's like, what's the problem? The problem is, like, basically, the server was there to make Twitch content. And it's a very one-sided content farm if all you're doing is killing the person and not interacting or RPing with them at all. It was effectively like an RP server, and, you know, just like cold killing people was not really the goal of it. You see what I'm saying? But it was a PvP server? No, it was, right? But there was like an etiquette to it as well. And so, yeah, this has been going on for quite a while. Sounds dumb? Better to be cold? Well, of course it sounds dumb to you because you're not a Twitch streamer. You see what I'm saying? Well, it was done for Twitch. It was done by Twitch streamers for Twitch streamers. That's all it was for.
What is me? We're joining the game as new players, and we want the hardest of the hard. We want to challenge ourselves, and Summit has more credibility to do that because he's actually great at the game. Me, maybe I should slow down. So man, these veterans, it's like, the fuck? They don't want to join some like half-populated, low-pop, low-skill server to, you know, look good for their videos. It's like, bro, where are the greats? Where are the greats that want to be in the hardest server and, you know, they have to put 19 hours in just to get 1 hour of clips? That's why the Rust section, you know, in my opinion, is where it is. You know what I'm saying?
The Rust section will always be where it is on Twitch because any good Rust content, see, like the really good Rust videos are like an hour long. And, you know, Sir Winter's made great Rust videos. H-June's made great Rust videos. They're some of the best, like, video game content videos on all of YouTube. But the thing is, like, it says, we waited outside his base for 3 hours until he came out. And then it goes, cut, and then he comes out. Immediately, within 3 seconds of them saying they waited for 3 hours. So the best thing about the Rust videos on YouTube is you cut out all of the boring shit and you only have the best shit. And that's what it was. That's why Rust videos are way more popular on Twitch, or sorry, way more popular on YouTube than they are on Twitch. And also you can't get stream sniped in the same way you can on YouTube because people can't, like, you know, triangulate your location because they're watching your stream.
Going for that short route, the short, quick route. We need somebody to go for that long route, you know, where, yeah, we're going to watch them get their ass whooped, but that doesn't change them being great, right? You know what I'm saying? If you're great at the game and you're getting ass whooped 24/7, right? See, you don't suddenly become shit. Crazy, bro. Crazy. Motherfuckers are all trying to go on easy.
The fact is that if people didn't win fights, people think they suck. And this is just like an issue in like any competitive game. It's like whenever you lose to somebody who's like a little bit better than you, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily bad. It just means they're a little bit better, or, you know, fortune was on their side. Sometimes, you know, things happen, you know, mistakes happen, random events happen, somebody isn't paying attention at the same time. Ego issue then? Well, it's not really an ego issue. It's that you don't want to put out a image of yourself that portrays you as being bad at the game because it's not beneficial to you to grow your channel, because people want to watch people that are good, and good people win. So if you're losing, then you're not good, and if you're not good, then people don't want to watch you. That's literally ego? No, it's not. See, like what you're misunderstanding is that this is, so it's ego to care about it on a personal level, but it's not ego to acknowledge that it is bad for your brand. Does that make sense? So, yes, it is. It would be ego if you didn't have a YouTube channel or something like that, but it just hurts your marketability. It's simple.
Mode. It's fucking annoying. And you solo players, you know who you are. Aiden, you know who the fuck you are, boy. Motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? This Aiden guy. Spend 4 fucking hours collecting everything, loses it all in 5 fucking minutes, and says, I'm bored. Let's go to a new server. Jesus Christ. The fuck? New server. After you lost everything. Get my shit back and then go to a new server. Go to a new fucking server, collect all the shit. He loses it again. Let's go to a new server. Jesus Christ. Shameless.
That would piss me off.
And then the motherfuckers that are complaining about, you know, like, I understand. Listen, when I'm off stream, there's stream snipers doing some weird shit, you know what I mean? Like, I'm hitting the connects up and I'm, you know, if there's definitive proof, they're getting banned. Then I'm playing with motherfuckers that they don't hide the screen. They show their shit for content. You can't cry about the stream snipers if you're doing that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take the precautions first, then cry about it. But yeah,
no, that's just the reality, right? Is like, if you play Rust, you're going to get stream sniped. It's going to happen. The entire game is built around PvP. Now, yes, you might be able to get somebody banned if they're running after you spamming the N-word or something like that, sure. But Rust isn't going to go around banning everybody who's stream sniping on a specific server. The reason why is that you can always make your own servers. You can always decide who you do and don't invite. There's no reason for you to go on everybody else's server and tell everybody else you have to play by their rules.
So as far as the gambling stuff goes, that's kind of my, it feels very slimy, in my opinion. I wish they would have, maybe it sounds, yeah, I guess from the outside in, it sounds like, you know, bias, or it sounds like a conflict of interest for them to reach out to me and then me help them with the policy. But knowing like what I know and my intention, like I think they could have reached out to me and we could have made a policy like to rid Twitch of like 90% of the bullshit gambling, you know what I mean? And create something that is cleaner and better. But
I don't think Twitch cares about that. Twitch just cares about plausible deniability, that they're involved with something that could be harmful to people, that could be bad for advertising. That's literally all there is to it. And this was the main thing that, like, this is what I always said about, that's the optics of it, right? That, like, I never really made, like, yeah, I'm not a fan of gambling. I don't personally gamble. It's not something I like to do. But people are free to do what they want to do. I mean, like, I can't, you know, make decisions for everybody. So I'm not like morally up there, oh, it's ruining people's lives. Like, yeah, of course it is sometimes. Of course, yeah, this is what happens. But like, that's not the main reason why I wanted it banned, because it's like everybody has different morality, right? Somebody thinks like, oh, that's bad. Somebody else thinks Grand Theft Auto is bad. Somebody else thinks that ASMR hot tub streams are bad. Somebody else thinks that my WoW streams are bad because it's their favorite game. Like, it's just like, what the fuck, right? So it's about logical, you know, logical conclusions. And so that's all there is to it. And that's why that's why I was against it, right? Is I was worried about like basically like an advertiser exodus.
It is what it is. As far as future plans for like platforms, I'm in talks with a few. As far as what comes of that, you know, y'all are gonna have to wait.
Yeah, I think that's not, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, by that logic, all mention of alcohol should be banned. But that's just simply not the way the public sees it. You understand? So, by that logic, well, wait a second, we're not using logic. What I'm saying is that the way that the public perceives something is more important than what is actually true or real. Because you're not, like, these advertising companies don't make decisions off of who's wrong or right. They make decisions off of who's mad and who's not. So that's the real reason. Obviously, like, and also they do have rules against alcohol, right? You can't have, like, you know, like underage people drinking. You can't have people drinking. I feel like if somebody was drinking and driving on stream, Twitch would probably suspend them. Like, I feel like I have there's a very, very high probability of them getting suspended, even if it wasn't against the law. Yeah, for like, yeah, at least for like 3 hours or something, right? You know, so they can sober up and then drive home. That's just legality, though. Yeah, but I think that they would do it even if it wasn't legality. You're right that it would be against the law no matter what, or against the rules no matter what. You're not going to go minus 100K plus from alcohol. Yeah, but sometimes you go minus liver from alcohol. Sometimes you go minus life from alcohol. Alcoholism kills people all the time. It probably kills, I don't know, maybe it might kill more people than gambling. A lot of people do that. And the truth is that alcoholism is, again, it's just more accepted by society. And this is kind of like, and actually it's funny that people bring this one up, because this is actually something I talked about whenever I was talking about like removing references to WoW that upset people. Like, for example, like references to, you know, like sexual jokes and stuff like that. It's like, how is it okay that you can remove these references to sexual jokes, but you can have an entire you know, holiday in the video game that's built around alcoholism, whenever alcoholism is like a fucking, like, scientifically proven to escalate domestic violence. It's proven to be like harmful. Like, a lot of people can like abuse alcohol, as Alcoholics Anonymous, etc. Like, how do you go and say that these jokes are what the problem is whenever you have an entire event that's glorifying alcoholism to an audience of people that are in many cases underage? Do you see kind of what I'm saying, and how like there's obviously a huge double standard here, but there isn't really a double standard because society doesn't care about being hypocritical. Society doesn't care about oh, well, you know, that's different. Why is it different? Well, because, you know, listen, like my dad used to drink and, you know, it is what it is. It just, that's all there is to it. Yeah, there's no standard. There just simply is and it what is and is not. It's perception. Yeah, well, that's all there is to it. It's fucking perception.
Personally, like, I don't want to leave Twitch. I really don't. You know, I've been here for so long. I'm not gonna even sit here and play that shark game.
Yeah, I know he's been talking about this before. Before I do that, I want to respond to one more comment, and then I'll keep doing the video. Slots are built to draw people in with their animations and sounds, where alcohol is just a base substance that causes harm. In my opinion, the only time that these things can be compared is whenever you compare playing slots to advertising alcohol through paid advertisement. I don't think that's necessarily true, because I think that alcohol is fundamentally addictive. Like, can't you develop a chemical addiction to alcohol to where if you take alcohol away from a person's body, they can go into shock? Yes. Okay. So that's one tremendous difference, is that that's a huge one. Yeah, they'll die. Like my dad told me about this. Like, he used to drink constantly, right? This is before I was born. Like, he started drinking. I think he told me he started drinking when he was about like five or 6 years old. So it could have even been before then. So that's how it is. And anyway, I don't think it's that simple, because I think that any representation of alcohol in a positive setting is effectively an advertisement for it. That's why people pay for product placement. So I don't think it's as simple of an argument as any paid advertisement of alcohol is the only instance of promoting alcoholism or promoting alcohol to an audience. I don't agree with that at all. And I think that if you applied that same logic to a number of other things, it would also be bad as well.
I say one thing, you know, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to leave it. But it's like, how many times do I have to sit here for the years that I've been here, right? Grinding my ass off. And like, how many times am I going to, you know, let them like spit in my face? You know what I'm saying? I'm not even referring to the gambling stuff. I'm just referring to, like, I've never seen, like, I don't know who the fuck's running this shit, but what I will say is this: whoever is making these like policy decisions, policy changes, whatever the fuck, right? You need, like, I don't know if you even went to a business school. I don't know how the fuck you got into the position you're in, but you need to leave your at-home politics at home. Because it is so goddamn clear. You're bringing your personal bias into the business. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot. That is how you fuck.
Oh, I think he's definitely right. He's 100% right. Twitch doesn't promote Trainwrecks for the same reason that they banned gambling. It's that if you Google Trainwrecks, there's like articles of him, how Trainwrecks hates women, and how Trainwrecks goes on another rant about women, and, you know, how it's bad PR. And it's like, the at-home politics, I totally fucking agree with that. But this is just how these companies run things nowadays, is that they are just so conflict adverse. And it's like, if there's ever a point, like, I'll give you an example. Do you remember whenever Hassan got banned for saying that America deserved 9/11? You guys remember that? Yes. So the fact is that Hassan said it in a bad way, but he immediately clarified what he was saying after he said it. I watched the clip, and Twitch suspended him because people took it out of context and it made Twitch look bad. And because it made Twitch look bad, they suspended him. So that's what it'd be. Backtrack? Well, I don't think he necessarily backtracked. There's many times, like, I've done this myself, where you say something in like a really aggressive way, and then you're like, well, that's not really true. Let me explain it a little bit more. Right? And that's really what it was. That's not why it was banned. What I'm saying is, like, that's an example of what that is. Got to clarify it? Yeah, sure. He just clarified it. Exactly. And so, because I don't think what he said really is that, like, America caused this to happen by intervening in the Middle East for fucking 10 years before then. Like, this is not a crazy take to have. I think most people would clearly, like, respect that and understand, like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But because it was taken out of context, Twitch didn't look at the context behind what he said, and they just pulled the trigger. You see what I'm saying? So even in cases where it's like, it's just 100% a misrepresentation, they don't care. And I thought that was bullshit. Yeah, oh boy, the hypocrite is mad example. Do you mean bad example? I think you spelled bad wrong. Is that it? He worded it poorly for shock value. Yeah, but like I don't think it's as bad for shock value if you immediately go on to clarify it right after that. Do you see kind of what I'm saying? Some of Republicans in the Asmon chat. Well, it's not. The thing is like a lot of Republicans agree with this too. Like there's a lot of Republicans who are like, what the fuck are we doing intervening in the Middle East whenever we've got problems here? What the fuck are we doing? Like I feel like this isn't really a Republican opinion. Like, yeah, a lot of people think this. So, yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Hassan is a huge fake hypocrite. Yes, terrible example. No one likes that douchebag. You're right about what you're saying, though, Zach. Hassan was totally right about what he said with 9/11. He's 100% right. Like, intervening and fucking, like, playing, nation building constantly in a country and intervening in their personal politics. Who's 100% right. Of course that's going to have a negative effect. Of course that's going to cause people to retaliate. This isn't some sort of like crazy fucking take. It's common sense. But because people were able to misrepresent it in a way that made him look bad, it was more important to Twitch to uphold their reputation than stand behind a creator who's being misrepresented. And sometimes Twitch does make the right decisions. However, I don't think this was one of them. And I think that Twitch, in many cases, does make good decisions. And reality is that most cases, Twitch makes good decisions. It's just that whenever they make a bad decision, everybody talks about it. Wrong here, little bro? I disagree with most of his takes, but he shouldn't be banned. Helps my skepticism. Well, let's see. Saying they deserved it is the same as saying that you're not surprised. Isn't the same as saying you're not surprised. Yeah, I know that. But, like, what I'm saying is that I don't think that it's a bad thing to say something in a way that is wordly, like, I don't think that it is a fair, I think we're getting off on sidetracked here, but I want to finish this point. I don't think that it is a fair standard to hold people to, that they have to talk about things, or they can talk about things live extemporaneously for hours on end and not have a single time where they misrepresent something that they say. Or they accidentally say something they didn't really mean to, and then they clarify it right after that. I don't think that you should hold that initial statement against them as something to, like, ruin their career by or to punish them with. It's just realistically, if you're talking for hours on end, you're eventually going to say something that is... that you shouldn't say, right? You're going to word something badly. Like, I've done this myself. Everybody's done this. It's just common sense. Let's see here. Why are we talking about this? Well, the point that I'm making is that, I've kind of gotten off the point. The point that I'm making is that Twitch cares about PR more than they care about individual relationships. That's what it is.
You know what I'm saying? It's just super fucking weird to me. How the fuck are you gonna value what somebody who streams 30 hours every 2 months says over like 5 different creators that stream 300 hours a month? With 3 times the viewership and 10 times the ad density. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no goddamn sense. It's really fucking weird to me. Like, some weird shit.
Yeah. It was fucking hot. But I think it's all for PR. It's definitely. Let's see. Somebody's not happy about what I said. Bro, I can't listen to these takes. This is complete ignorance from a guy who doesn't exist in the real world. Have a good one, y'all. Let's see. What were you happy about? Let's see what you were not happy about. You said that gotta stop running away from things that make you uncomfortable. Bro, I can't listen to these takes. Have a good one, y'all. Be nice to each other. What happened? What the fuck, man? I don't understand. Why are you running away? What is this? Holy shit. Someone has the same takes and they don't like it. Listen. Whenever I say that somebody had something unfair happen to them, that doesn't mean that every single thing that they have ever done, I approve of. I agree with. I don't know a lot about the Ukraine situation and if NATO is involved or not. I don't know enough about it. I haven't looked into it as much as maybe you have or Hassan has. I'm not talking about that. It has nothing to do with that. It's crazy. Why people can be so dumb. Oh, I'm just saying, like, these are the kinds of people you have to deal with. And it can be very, very annoying. You're banned. You're done. It's okay that he's hypocritical, so he has no problem being hypocrites, know what I'm saying? Well, society can have no problem being hypocrites, but people can dislike how society is, and they can choose to interact with it to the extent that they want. In the same way that I'm choosing to interact with him to the extent that I want. And I think that's pretty fair. You know, I don't think he was talking to you. He was 100% talking to me. Absolutely he was. Yeah, absolutely. 50% of people just don't know how to critically think. I think 50% is an understatement. Dude's a butthurt idiot. Yeah, exactly. He hears you. Yeah, listen, this is it. Yeah, he hears. He thinks he hears the only one in your chat doesn't like to hear you defending Hassan. None of us like it. Oh my God. None of us like Hassan. I'm sure there are plenty of people that are subscribed to Hassan that watch my stream. Like, this is not true. I don't know what it is about people that don't like Hassan that try to represent themselves as if they are some sort of a we or majority. This is not true. You are speaking for nobody except for yourself. And by the way, nothing I have said so far is a blanket fucking approval of everything Hassan has ever said. I have never done that. Just because I said, hey, in this one circumstance, I think he got misrepresented and it wasn't fair, that doesn't mean, well, what about the time that he said this? What about whenever he bought the house, huh? How about that? Yeah, socialism? Yeah, right. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about one circumstance. That's it. That's it. Try to think about what's being talked about. Holy shit. Shouldn't get their politics from streamers. People should just think for themselves. Yeah. Look at his politics, enjoying the occasional stream. Sure. Chat has no critical thinking ability. I think that people lose their critical thinking ability as soon as they hear something that they dislike or they disagree with. I think it's really just that simple. So yeah, that's the only thing that I'm really trying to say, right? Is that Twitch cares a lot about you know, the personal stuff and everything like that. I've known Train for years. I'll link you guys the video if you guys want to watch it, right? Different views in them, I like them. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, you're gonna have different views and things with everybody, right? That's okay. They're scared to engage in any topic they disagree with. I think that there's a huge problem with you know what I was saying before earlier about how, like, people keep liking and they want to place their faith in, like, this is not really about the video. They want to place their faith in some sort of like a person, right? They want to give their all of their freedom and everything and all of their thought and critical thinking. They want to give it to something or some other apparatus and say, you are now the person who thinks for me. You know, whether you're giving it to the church, whether you're giving it to a political authority, whether you're giving it to an online influencer, whether you're giving it to some sort of a job or, you know, some other type of weird thing. People constantly are going out of their way to give away their freedom and critical thought to something else because they're too afraid or too fatigued to deal with it themselves. It's very annoying to me because the fact is that I think that's the one thing that separates a human from an animal is the ability of metacognition, the ability to think about thinking. How the fuck can you even differentiate yourself from a cow if you can't think for your fucking self? I don't understand it. But there we are. There we fucking are. And it's so annoying because you have these people that do stupid things and they also do good things. It's something like people dislike certain things and then they like other things. It's like you can say, oh, wow. It's like Jordan Peterson. Oh, I said this one thing that's good. Well, yeah, that's because everything that he says is good and everybody that dislikes him is a fucking moron, right? Or they're just leftists or they're mad. No, that's not true. There are dumb things that he said, or at least I think there are. But it's also that he's not a fucking Nazi either. It's that people have no ability to see the nuance in other people because they want to look at people as replacements for religions. And I think they do the same fucking thing with politics. They do the same fucking thing with ideologies. And it drives me fucking crazy. I am so sick of this shit. It's so tiresome and it never goes away. I could fucking go into this for hours. Fuck. People can't have individuality anymore or opinions. Well, people don't have opinions. They have people that give them their opinions. So if a person that gives them their opinions has a bad opinion, they have to defend that bad opinion because they are tied to the person and not the idea. That's why. Problem is, people think their opinions are fact. Well, I think there are some times where people think that their opinions are, or them refusing to accept facts is an acceptable opinion. Oh yeah, you can think whatever you want, but don't expect anybody to take you fucking seriously if you don't believe in science. You see what I'm saying? Like, it goes both ways. That's so annoying. Goldfish mentality. They forget about the issue until someone gives them their opinion. I don't know about goldfish. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, that just triggered the fuck out of me, man. Since you haven't spoken to anyone in a long time, reading Twitch and online comments on YouTube is not real life. Dude, people troll and are bad here. I think that most people that say things like this online, you are right that a lot of people don't think like this. But I think that with the last... I mean, 100% last two elections, right? Like a fucking 100%. And I'm trying to think of like 2012 was the same thing. It was not as bad. This has been going on since at least 2016. I think we can all agree on that. And if it's only on the internet, then how the fuck did people win the presidency over it? How the fuck is national policy being decided over people's perception of an individual? So yeah, I'm not going to get into this, okay, about how, oh, it's just on the internet. It's clearly fucking not. And also, it's not new either. People did the same fucking thing. I'm sure there's plenty of people that live in China, for example, that just outsource all of their morality to the government, and anything the government does, it just simply is what it is, and that's all there is to it. They never critically think about it. They never ask any questions. They just want to live their life, and they just say the government is all right. They do everything right. People do the same fucking thing here in the U.S. They do the exact same fucking thing. Like, there are so many Catholics that try to go and pretend, oh, no, there's no fucking pedos in the church. Oh, no, that's just fucking leftist propaganda. Get the fuck out of here. Of course there are. It's so much fucking evidence for it. Are you crazy? And so people they cannot possibly, accept that there are any flaws in the things that they believe in, because they elevate the things that they believe in beyond what a human can ever be capable of. No human can be perfect. It's crazy. Challenge everything? Well, think for yourself. You don't have to challenge everything. Just think for yourself. Let's go back to the Scuff Podcast. Most level-headed person on the platform. I love you. No, I think there's plenty of other people that give the same takes that I do, right? I think a lot of people do. The moral compass of a lazy person aligns with their party. Most people are intellectually lazy. I think they're morally and ethically lazy, too. I think that, for the vast majority of the population, power and virtue converge. And if something is all-powerful, it becomes virtuous, like God. How can you fucking read the Old Testament and think to yourself, oh, yeah, this is a good guy? No, of course not. But it's just, this is what, it's, as I said, like, this is why almost all the presidents are tall. Well, because people think taller guys are stronger, and that's all there is to it. You've got to keep in mind, we might be wearing clothes, but we're just really smart monkeys, okay? So don't ever forget it. I could talk about this for fucking hours. It's already 8 in the morning. There are problems with the two-party system. It's either Coke or Pepsi. No, no. If we had 3 parties, it'd be the same thing. That's not true. I don't agree that if we had 3 parties, this thing would be solved. No, I completely disagree with that. There's Mountain Dew. Well, Mountain Dew's owned by PepsiCo. But, there's other ones, too. It'd add Dr. Pepper. Yeah, exactly. Products of ignorance are things people would seek out in institutions. They get easy to get away with it. I think it's just a lot of people feel like they have to have opinions on things that they're not educated about. And I think that this is something that I think everybody does this. Like, I'm sure I do this. I'm sure you guys do this. Where, like, you give your take on something that you don't really know what the fuck you're talking about. This is just something you've read, and it's something that makes sense to you. And like I've had this happen to me, and like I've had people like, well, actually, like look at this, and it's like, oh yeah, that's actually kind of true. Never mind. But a lot of times people don't want to ever accept that. Admitting ignorance seems like the hardest thing for people to do. Yeah, exactly. And anytime that you admit fault for something or you go back on something because of like new evidence or things change, people say that you're flip-flopping. I remember I had this happen whenever I watched the Andrew Tate video. Whenever I watched the Andrew Tate and Piers Morgan interview, the initial clipped version of it made Andrew Tate look really bad and super stupid. And then I went back, I watched it, and I was like, wow, this guy looks like a stupid fuck, right? Then everybody was like, fuck you, you're wrong. I said, all right, let's find out for ourselves. I watched a 3 fucking hour video. Well, it was an hour. I turned it into 3 hours. And I went through every single point, and it turned out that, yes, no, that's not what really happened. And people are like, wow, you know, he must have changed his opinion because people disagreed with him. No, I didn't. I changed my opinion because the facts changed. It wasn't as cut and dried as I had originally thought. But people will try to hold that against you. It's sad. Does that same thing happen to me whenever I watched it? Yeah, exactly. The facts didn't change. You was just wrong. No, I wasn't. Nope. Yeah, it doesn't feel good, does it? Yeah, to just have somebody just like disagree with you and not have any fucking proof for it or any argument at all. Just nope. Not true. Yeah, come on, try better next time, okay?